Good morning, guys. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? What is gold doing last night? It's been very naughty today. Okay. Morning, Nella. How are you doing? Let me just let them know in the chats. Okay, right guys, good morning Cam. Me currently in drawdown but slow and steady. No. Good morning, and you're telling me currently... Oh right, you're currently in drawdown but slow, steady, no revenge. Morning Drift. Morning Jordan. And I got the trend up but took myself out. Yeah, so yesterday's trade on the trade IDs, which we took, we actually got activated fairly quickly. Like I didn't think we would get activated because we were building up this structure. I didn't think we'd get activated that quick. However, I just want to obviously keep everything transparent. The trade yesterday, I have put it on. Let me get my logbook up. So I'll show you what we took from that day yesterday. So yesterday we got in, where are we at? I took another $700 from it. Okay, this was the second trade, the trade idea. Okay, 453. I took partial, and I actually took some more before I came back down to tap break even. Now I took partial around here, but if you did hold, you could have waited to your risk free take partial area 2443. So that's what we took. So overall yesterday, I took 1200 quid yesterday from them trades. And July, let me get that in here. There is that second trade on the stream here. 755 was the second trade, what we took on stream. So how lucky are you guys? 2 trades. I've tricked you there, haven't I? 2 trades on one stream. It's very rare for me, that, guys. Normally you'll get 1 trade and then everything else will be in the trade IDs. So that's what we took on that. So what that's done is, I mean, yesterday alone really has brought us back with that loss I took the other day. So we're actually back to 3.5k on a 200k account, risking 2% per trade. So I just want to reiterate though, guys, right? You don't have to take a trade every day. Right, if you feel like you have to take a trade every day, you'll soon realise that you don't have to, because that's where you'll start taking losses. Okay, you don't need to stay disciplined. You only take what is available to you. When the markets show you your setup, then you take them trades. Okay, and like I said, June, we didn't take many trades at all. Look at June. Horrible month. I mean, I was on holiday as well, but look at June. It wasn't much at all. But look, we only made 1700 quid, yeah? But look at July already. We're up to 3.5k. So it just swings and roundabouts. I don't think you need to take a trade every day, okay? So we've put the stream record up at 77 wins, 9 break-evens, and 8 losses. We've only ever had 1 partial loss. If you didn't take partial here, you would have took partial here, and then price absolutely bombed it through the roof, and I don't have a clue what's going on with gold at the minute. So let's do a top-down analysis and let's see what the hell is going on with gold. Okay, thanks for jumping on the stream, guys. If you can, hit that like button straight away. It helps with the algos and pushes the videos out to people. And let's go straight into it. So the monthly. Now, what did I say about the monthly? What have I been saying about the monthly? I don't think we can close above here unless we come and tap this level. Okay, close. We've still got 15 days, so we're halfway through the month now. So I'm thinking, is this monthly going to flip to the downside? Now, to be honest with you, I didn't think we would even break the highs again. I actually thought we would have to need to break the lows in order to drive up. However, what is the one thing what can affect price even without the liquidity? What do you think it could be? Anyone? Drop it in the chat what you think it could be. What could affect price without having to come down and create liquidity in order to move? News. And I've looked back on all the previous news this month, and all of it has been negative for the dollar. The majority of it's been negative for the dollar. Therefore, this is why we're getting this pump up, because news is pushing gold up. Yeah, good answer, Jordan. So news is pushing gold up. So if news calms its tits, as we say at Relentless, I was saying is calm your tits, gold. Is gold going to flip still down to come and create liquidity down here in this level? Well, this is if news stops coming out, like that war, Nella. Yeah, war as well. Yeah, you're right. But that would be news, wouldn't it, if it was war? So news can push price, affect price without sort of liquidity grabs and hedge funds and things like that. So the issue we've got now is we're all-time highs, and this where it becomes very, very tricky, because if you look at where the monthly is, look left. So look left. What previous data have we got here? We've got none. Okay, so the only previous data we've got is the previous data in this wick on the monthly. That's what we've got. So this means we have to go down to 1 hour time frames and 4 hour time frames and so on. Okay, so every probability trade, yes, we have such a high win rate with Meraki. However, everything becomes that high win rate. The risk of it now becomes a lot greater because we are literally all-time high. So we've got to understand this, right? Got to understand this. There's two things you can do: wait for price to come back down, or might not, or you look to take setups, but obviously on a lower time frames, which you can still do. We still do it, but it just means everything's a lot more riskier. Okay, so you've got to understand that. Now, the weekly, what the weekly's done, the weekly hasn't closed yet, right? However, it has broke the highs. The weekly hasn't closed yet and it's broke the highs. Now, we're technically still in this range on the weekly. And remember I told you what price does? And if you've done the Meraki course, you'll know that price is like a bouncing ball. So once you identify your ranges, price will bounce off the ceiling, off the floor, ceiling, floor, until it breaks out. Now, what I mean by a breakout, it either breaks above or it breaks below. Okay? Now, what I mean by a break is a candle close out. Currently, we haven't broke out because this candle hasn't closed yet. So what does that mean then? Well, that means that this weekly at any point can pull back and close doji and close respecting. Therefore, where should we be going? We should be coming down to fill the rest of the range. Okay? Or, if this candle does close out like this on the weekly, then we've had that breakout. All we would be looking for now is a pullback to tap previous support and then a flip to the upside. However, this is where it gets tricky. Where's the target? Where's the next range? Normally you would have you'd identify from previous data like your ranges here, because you might get something like this. And then you've identified that you've got a range here. So that could be your target. But we haven't got that, so we've got no target to go off. So this is where it becomes very tricky. Now, we currently haven't closed out yet of this weekly. So, ideally what I would like to see is a doji candle this week what day are we on today? We're on Wednesday, so we've got 3 days to come back down. So can we get 3 daily candles coming back below 2414? That's what we're after. Okay. If we don't and we get a close out like this, then next week, what would we be looking at? Well, we'd be looking at sells, wouldn't we? Because we'd want to pull back. That's what we'd be looking at. So you can still trade it, but just everything becomes a lot more risky. Does that make sense, guys? How I've explained that. Ideally, if we do break out though, next week I would like to see a fake out back into the area. That would be perfect for me, because there's only one place to come then on the week, and that's back down here. Because there's no reason to fake out unless you're going to come and break these lows. So that would be perfect for me. Okay, which we might get. We might get yet. We'll see. We will see. So, daily then. What is the daily doing? So, daily is a similar situation. Now, what was weird yesterday, remember I said to you, okay, we've had a bullish daily close. However, you haven't fully closed respecting. These are little gaps, so could we get a little daily close there and then close respecting to then come back down? We didn't even get that. We just absolutely bombed through the roof. However, we've got no top wick on this daily. We've got no top wick on this daily, and we have created a top wick first. So when you get no top wick, what tends to happen with the next candle? It tends to close opposite. Okay, tends to. Not all the time, but tends to. So if we're saying that this is going to close bearish, then our chance is that we're closing bearish. Could we look for sells for a bottom wick? If we didn't have a top wick, we could look for buys for a top wick. But because we've created this top wick now, and we flip bearish, could we look at sells? And then where would sells be? We've got to work out and go, okay, how big could this candle be? Well, for me, when you get a breakout, what tends to happen? You tend to come down to tap previous support before you flip, if you're going to flip. So, I would say that this daily candle, I'm not sure we're going to get a daily candle like that. I think if anything, you might tap this, pull back, close bearish, and then, remember the weekly, what we said? The next day, and then the third day, which would be the week's close, back below, and that's how we get a weekly doji candle below the level, if we're going to get that. That would be perfect for me. Okay, but at the minute, we've got a bullish close on the daily. We've got a top wick on this daily, so we could look for sells to come down. But at any point, really, this daily can flip to the upside. So very risky on the daily at the moment. So we'd have to make sure, and we'd have to move stops fairly quickly. Okay, so we'd have to be aggressive with stops. This morning, yes, all-time highs were the hardest trading criteria. John, you gotta love you, John. So, 4 what can we look at the 4? So we've had a bearish close on the 4. Then we've had a top wick. It's nice that you broke the highs. So you have got some liquidity to come down. The issue we've got is there's no ranges. I mean, the previous range here is 2440. 3, got no top wick. I don't like that. I'd like this top wick tuck. If this had a top wick and we had a 3 like that, and then I got a pull back to maybe there, and we could probably look for sell stops underneath this 3, but we haven't had any of that yet. So 2, again bearish, no top wick. 1, bearish. We've now closed bullish on the 1. So here's the thing, right? We need to confirm that this is structure. We need to confirm that this is structure, or the 4. We need to confirm that this, where's the 2, 3, 1. Okay, so what I'd need to see the 1s come back up to tap this level. Okay, the 1 hours. We need to tap this on the 1 hours, and I'd need to see this get respected, and then we could potentially look for either sells below That's what I'll probably look. And then, yeah, so if I come back up and we get the pullbacks, I would like the 3 with the no top wick area, but I don't know whether you're going to do that because the 4 is struggling. I don't know whether you're going to get that high for the 3, but as long as I got a pullback on the 2, there's a minor support here on the 2. If I can get a top wick to that, on the 1, yeah. So if you can come and tap this area, I will then look for sells below here, and once we've got a break below here, we can look for a top wick and we can sell down. The issue we've got is this range is obviously very clean all the way down. We don't know how far it's going to go or whether it's going to create new ranges. What I mean by that is it's going to create things like that, and it gives it a chance to come back up. So what does that mean then? What can we do? So if we get the 1 hour pullback, and tap 2469, we could then look for sellers below these levels. But at the moment, I've got nothing, absolutely nothing, because I need to see. We did get a forward bearish close, and we've had a top wick. I don't think this is enough of a top wick for me just to take sells off the bat. You wouldn't be looking at buys yet unless I wouldn't be looking at buys, guys, because the daily's got no top wick. I know we're bullish on the daily, but I just wouldn't be looking at buys. 1, because you're going into no man's land, and 2, because you've got no top wick and you've got a high chance that this is going to close bearish anyway. Let me see if the 1 does pull back. 15. Okay, so if the 15 can come and tap that level, could we take a sell from there aggressively with the hour? That would be the hour coming up. But are you going to do that? I think you've got to come back up though. And we need some more candles to print, guys, on the lower time frames, I think. I can't really take anything at the minute. Yeah, because if you... Am I still there? Tomorrow will be easier, because if you get the daily bearish close, you would just want a top wick first, and then you'd be more comfortable taking sells coming back down. At least you've got structure. At the minute on the daily, we haven't got any structure. We're still just flying. So at any point, I need to see if this 4 is going to flip to the upside. I need a steeper top wick on the 4. I ideally would like price to come back up to this to rule this out. Then I would take sells back below this. So yeah, that's probably the only thing I'm after today, really. Not ideal. Not ideal. Unless something pops out, and we've had it before, guys, where something's just popped out on a 5 or a 15. I've said, okay, we're in on this 5. Move stops as soon as it pulls away. So you've got a 15-minute range here, 2469. You've got a minor range here, what you've broke. I need a pullback. You've got there's no top wick on this 50, on this 30, which is the same on the 15. 15 no top wick. Do we need to come back up? I need this getting tapped here. We don't need this as such, but we could potentially look for. What's the 5s like? See, this was in the middle of the night, I believe. So are you going to reject from there now? Because there wouldn't have been any liquidity here. I don't know if I would take that. Yeah, we need a pullback for sells. I'm only interested in sells as the thing, but I can't look at sells really unless I tap these areas. If it keeps pushing down here, I can't get in. I need a pullback of some sort. I need some sort of liquidity being grabbed here. Because you've had a bullish 1 hour close as well. So where's this 1 hour going to close? This is the next area for the one. This is the minor support. So if we can get something like close respecting, and then the next one maybe comes up, taps that area, closes doji, something like that, then I'll be looking at small top wick. I'll be looking at sells then coming down. I can either take sells here, or we can just take sells below this, but that should give you a nice little push beyond. So that's something I need to see really, guys. I can't really do anything. Would I take buys up? The only way I would take buys up is if we got this 1 hour close above, and then I got a decent pullback, maybe breaking the lows, and then buy stops on to come up. But it's very hard picking a target. The only target there is the no top wick area. You would probably say that it's coming up for that no top wick, but or if the 1 hour does close below this and I get a top wick what breaks the highs, I potentially get sell stops on, but on a lower time frame it's got to look clean. It's got to look clean. I'll tell you the hardest trading card. Risky doing sell. What if we close below 2463? Is that below this? Yeah, I don't like it because we haven't grabbed any liquidity. You've got loads of candles with no top wicks, and now if we close below there, on what time frame are you thinking, John? It would have to be a higher time frame, because the one you think, if this one pushes down and you get a 15-minute close below there, 2463, you might think, okay, we've got to close below 2436.63. But then if you flick to the 1 hour time frame, this is bullish at any point. This is just testing the wick low. It could flip to the upside, couldn't it? So this is what I'm saying, you would need a higher time frame close. That's what I would need really. I mean, it does look like it's coming back up. I mean, could we buy up? Could we buy up? If this is gonna flip, let me have a look at this. I don't like buys. I think buys are just too risky. Gold's getting stronger. USD is getting weaker. Buy stops above now, maybe. No, yeah, the bearish 5 close. What if we got a 5 close above here? Would that initiate the hour pushing? Potentially. Potentially. And the hour is the 4's bearish. Does the 4 need a steeper top wick? Yeah, it's not for me, that, like. It's not for me. You just gotta wait, I think. But yeah, you're likely gonna come back up to tap 2469. But taking buys up here, it's not for me at the minute. But you've got to, when we're in places like this, you've got to be alert, guys. You've got to be alert, because I might see something and be right, I'm in on this. So you've got to really be alert. Oh, look at that now, you little bugger. You little bugger. You little bugger. Now what would this be? I did fancy a wing back sell, but I don't think it it's the hour. How far can the hour go? You've got 5 minutes. If this 15 can get up to this, I'll potentially take a wing back sell, because there's only 2 candles left of this 15. So if this 15, I mean, it broke the lows, you've got liquidity to fly back through it, so I don't know if I would. $5 on the 30 as well. Yeah, well, if it was an hourly break below there, you would then need a top wick breaking the highs before taking the sells, as in a sell stop. Yeah, well, that's it. Look at flip the other side. It could have just run out of steam here. Run out of steam. Okay, so we're going to come back for more liquidity. This has broke this low. Everyone will be rebuying, won't there? Be loads buying, so therefore there'll be loads of liquidity under here. What's happened? You've now broken another low, grabbed all liquidity. Now you've got enough liquidity to probably come and test this area. Come and test this area. This is why I'm saying I can't get into sells yet, because you broke the low. Is this, and we need to confirm if this is just continuing with price. So I need to rule out, I've got to let this happen so I don't get caught, and then if price comes back below here, that's probably confirming that we now need to break this low again. So there's my advantage point. And if it goes beyond, ideal, goes beyond, but that's, I've now got an advantage point. At the minute I don't have an advantage point. We don't actually know if it's going to be pulling back and this is a liquidity grab. We don't know if this is a liquidity grab to push February and push through. We don't actually know if it's going to flip to the downside to carry on. We don't know anything yet. So we've got no advantage point. It technically doesn't have to tap this at the minute. Look, it's flipped back bearish now. It doesn't have to tap that. We could just carry on, trickle down. So I do need something. I do need something. What is the 30 done now then? Typical for you, Johnny. We had a fantastic trade yesterday. I think we took, how many pips did we take yesterday? I'm not rubbing it in. I'm not rubbing it in. But this is, I just want to explain the battle you'll have with Forex. And you'll think everything's against you. You'll think the markets are just against you and only you. But they're not. They don't even know you exist. And you do go through a phase. It's just another tick in the box. One of the boxes is thinking everything's against you. So like yesterday, John missed trading. Missed a lovely trade. So we got 40, nearly 50 pips from yesterday's stream. Beautiful. And then he's jumped on today because he missed yesterday, and it's looking horrible. And he obviously, it starts playing with your mindset. You're like, it's typical. It's just me, isn't it? It's me. It's not. It's not you. That's just a phase of your journey. What you've got to go through. It's normal. Everyone goes through it. Every emotion you go through, guys, is normal. Believe it or not. Don't think that you're special, and it's just you. And this is just happening just to test you. It's not. Everyone goes through it. Everyone. Jordan on 180 pips yesterday. That's nice, that Jordan. Where's Cam? So Cam, where are you at the minute? Are you in a trade with gold then? If you're in drawdown. Slow and steady. Look at this one. Is this one going to carry on flying? Therefore, is the 4 going to carry on? I don't know where the 4 is going to push to. This is the thing, because I don't know what it's done before. So if this 4 wants to create a steeper bottom wick, where's the next area is going to push to? I mean, the 4's got no bottom wick here. So you could say this 4 could be pushing to that. But just to put a sell on now, thinking, oh well, it might come down to that, stops above high. You're just gambling. You're just pure gambling. And that's a difference. So we've got to wait for some sort of setup. I would like that top wick. If this had a top wick, I'd be a bit more relaxed in regards to taking sells. Remember guys, it's not about the money you're going to make. It's not about making money. It's about protecting your capital. And at the minute we're in a defensive mode. Yeah, we've had some nice profit this month, right? We're not going to risk it. We're not going to risk it if it doesn't set up for us. It's not about, oh, I need to make another 500 quid because I want to hit 4 grand. Oh, I need another 500 quid because I want to hit 4 grand. That was my target. Don't ever give yourself a target to make. These people who say, oh, I aim for 250 quid a day or grand a day or whatever, doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. I never come to the charts and expect money. I just look to protect what I've got, right? And if the setup's there, I take the setup. That is it. Come on, can we come back up? Doesn't know what wants to do here. Yeah, I don't believe my luck. I had a look last night and kind of predicted this. Currently in no trade, I mean balance wise. Ah, right, okay. Balance wise, I'm in negative, unfortunately. Ah, right, okay, mate, that's fine. Is that are you on a challenge? Or is it live? Or is it demo? I can't remember what you said. I think you did tell me, didn't you? Yeah, we need to confirm this is getting held. So ideally, what we want to see is something like that, and then we know we're getting some sort of structure here, and then we're starting to get ranges, and then we can look for breaks to the down and things like that. But like I say, 10k alpha. All right, okay, funded. Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's fine. It's a long term thing, isn't it? You just keep plucking away. What you can't do is revenge trade, because you'll just end up blowing your account, and you're thinking about the money. You think, well, I need to make money from this because it's a live account. I need to make money. And you'll try and force yourself back out of drawdown, and that's what you can't do. I do like. No, I don't. I thought the one had closed bearish. If we had a bearish one close, and then we had a one pushing, we could potentially took this wing back sell. We've had a 30 bearish close with no bottom wick. What would the 15? Okay. So if this 15, we might potentially take this, but this 50, I don't really want to do it on. Okay, what does that look like on here? On the 5. Can this 15 come up? We potentially might take this wing back sell here, guys, as aggressive. Because you haven't had an hour. You would like an hour, right? You would like an hour. This is an area where the hours reject and pull back from. Okay, every time, even when you want to drive up, look at this big wick. You still rejected. So, could we pull back, tap, and we'll only be looking at something like that for risk free. However, it might be the hour pulling back. The only reason I'm looking at it is because the 30 has closed bearish, and then you're getting a pump in the first half of this 30. So could we get something like that and then pull back to flip maybe? Or if we're going to close up there, could we reject from there? Look at this, 15. 15's bearish also. 15 bearish, and then we do start coming up. I don't know whether I like that. At least we're pushing up though. We got no bottom wick. Would we need to come back to this? Probably not, actually. Probably not. However, if we get a 15 close like this, and then we get a bottom wick, I might get, and we don't tap 2463, we could potentially get a buy stop on. Let's see. Potential. What's a 5's like? What if this 5 done it? I mean, big pushing candle 5. I don't know whether this though, because this was late at night. So there's probably no liquidity, but if you look at all the other times, through. So are you just going to fly through? Yeah, I don't know whether I'd take that, guys. I don't think I'd take that, because you've got liquidity from the downside, you've brought the lows, you've got fuel to fly through, really. So this might be just a bit risky, but I mean, I leave it on so you can see what I'm on about. The only way you'd look at it is because you have printed bearish closures on the 30 and the 15, and then you get a nice pushing candle with no bottom wick. It's perfect, like it's what you want to see when coming towards a wing back sell, but the higher time frames have to match up as well. Unless we take a 5, oh, 5 no top wick, 5 no bottom wick. Oh, you little bugger, you are shocking me in. Where would stops be? Pips. Didn't have to cut me up. We could take it off a 5, I suppose, but if the 5 closes above, then we're not interested. But I would need this 5 to push. No, what we could do is if the 5s push above, we could potentially get, you've got 9 minutes left of this. They're nice pushing candles, but I just don't know whether you're going to push further up than that. Look at the one now though, it's the one I'm worried of. You've done that pullback now, which is nice. You've got 23 minutes left of this one. How big can this one candle be? Could be pretty big, to be fair. But you could also reject from here. I'm not going to take that, guys. It is a risky move and it might play out. I mean, it's perfect build up for a wing back. This is what you want to see. You've got no bottom wick on this 5 as well. You've got no top wick on this 5. So that's telling you that this 5 could end up being bearish. So what you're getting now is this is the top wick of the 5 and then it flips to close bearish, which would be perfect. But I'm just worried about the 1. The 1 could drive up. I don't know whether the 1 though, can it drive that far? 30 is bearish. So what is this 1 going to do? Okay, what we could do, guys, if the 1 closes above, no top wick on that as well. Pure micro trading here. Pure. What's the 1 doing? 3, close bullish, no top wick. We've got a top wick there. Okay guys, I am in first sell here. Right, underneath the 1. Underneath the 1. Oh, it's put me in a bit later, yeah. But we're going to be going risk free fairly quickly, right? I am in for a sell. Let's put me in here. Now I'm going to be going risk free at this level. At this level, okay. This is whether the 1's going to reject. What's the 5 done? We've tapped that zone now. Can the 5 pull back? Can the 5 pull back? We basically, I'm expecting the 5 to pull back, or I'm expecting a bottom wick on this 5. If the 5 closes above, I'll just be closing out, guys. Okay, we're pulling back now nicely. Ooh, can the 1 flip? When this 1 flips, I'll be going risk free. Okay, I'm now risk free on this, guys. Okay, we're pushing. We're in. We're risk free. Okay, might not play out. Might come back up. Take partial move to break even. Oh, I'm out already. These spreads are terrible. If you're still in, good luck. That 5 would have been a better entry. If you get this flip on this 5, that's when I would probably take some partial. Because actually no, the 5. If the 5 closes bullish, take partial. Okay. Definitely go risk free if this 5 closes bullish. If the 5 flips, you could potentially hold, because it means a new 5 can potentially come down. That's nice. You might get a top wick. If you can avoid this top wick, come back down to these levels. Fantastic. Look at that. What an entry that would have been. I didn't actually get in until a bit later there. He's all in. He's still in. Fuck my life, I missed it. Good morning, mate. Did you catch something? We did. Just, it was a fast one though. It was a fast one. And it had to be an aggressive one because we are all-time highs. Yeah, don't worry about if you missed it, guys. But you could have grabbed, if we did take the wing back, 14 pips, which probably would have been 10 pips from where I'm at. Yeah, 11 pips. You would have been stopped at break even, probably with this candle now. So we're going to add that as a break even trade, I think, guys. I don't really put my break even trades on the logbook. I don't. If you want me to start putting it on, I will do. But I'm in buys from 65. Go on, Vin. 65. Yeah, that would have been nice. We are literally scalping here. I mean, that 5, if we got that entry on that 5, you might not have been stopped on this. And if this 5 flips now to the downside, fantastic. That's what we were probably looking at. I'd probably look at to come back down to these levels. This is where I'd probably close out full at 2466. A trade for me. Nice, Martin. Nice. But like I say, these aggressive trades, guys, it's a case of as soon as the 5 pulls away, we're going risk free. Okay? That's what it's got to be like. It's not how we normally trade, but it's just because we're in these areas. Look at price now. This is the reason why I said make sure you take partial move to break even. Guys, I will be back in a second. 2 seconds. Sorry guys, I had to get that. Yeah, so look, this is what we didn't want. Look at the hour. That's what I was saying. The hour could actually drive back up. So risky, but if you use a 5, you can clearly see there is some sort of rejection area here. But it just means you've got to go risk free. And what it is, you can't hold it thinking, oh, I hope I don't want to get stopped at break even. I hope it drives down. You can't have that hope and type of thing. You've got to get rid of the risk straight away. So not bad, not bad. Nobody should still be in this trade at all, right? Round here I did say make sure you 100% go risk free, take some partial, so you might have had some profit as well. Okay, so I'm not putting it down as a win though, because I got stopped at break even, so it's just a break even trade for me. Okay, however, we're pushing up nicely, which this is good now. So if the hour can come up to these levels, fantastic. If I can come back to these levels, and then if I can get like an hour close back below these, I'll look for sells down. That's what I'm after really. I don't know whether I'm going to take buys up, guys. What time's it? 8:45. 10 o'clock. Don't know whether I'm just thinking whether it's worth. Look at this 3 here. Look at the 4 now. See the 4 steeper top wick. I would have ideally liked the 4 top wick to be something like that. That's then I would look at. I'd be a bit more flexible and risky on the sells coming down. That would have been better for me. We haven't had that. 1 hour left of this, so that means this 4 is probably going to close bullish. If this is going into the... I don't know whether it's worth staying on, guys, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't take buys above if you break above. But it does look like it's going to spend most of the morning maybe coming up to this. But I wouldn't be taking sells here either. The only sells I would want is back below these levels. But I think we're going to get something like this London, then maybe New York brings it back down. Or we're going to carry on with New York. So I don't know. I think it might be best if we wait for the daily. We need to see what the daily is going to do. We need a daily bearish close ideally today. Ooh, look how this candle's closed. No top wick. So what does that mean then? Get rid of this now, get rid of this. Got no top wick. Let's see what this hour does. Because what we could do, if this hour does close like this and does pull back to 2465, we could potentially get a buy stop on. That's what we could do. Potentially. Okay, because there is a reason to come back up, and it's not no top wick, it's more it looks better on the 3. No top wick area. So if the new hour does pull back to these levels, that would be a point of no return, where if the 3 is going to flip, the 4 is going to flip, and it's not going to come back up. But if it does so happen come back up, there's only one place left to go, and that's to break the high. So we could catch that. So that's something I'd look at. So let's see what this hour does. We've got 10 minutes. If this hour can pull back to... Does it need to break the lows? Probably not. I don't know whether I would get it on here. I would probably need something like this tapped. But the previous support is this. Let me have a look at a lower time frame. I would need a pullback to this area. Okay, I'd need a pullback to this area. Then my take partial move to break even or risk free would be this. Let's get rid of this pullback now, because we want this pullback just for the sellers below. So this is off a new hour though, guys. I'd need the hour to break above, and I need the new hour to come back down. If this hour taps this area, I'm just going to call it. I'm probably not for me. That's the only advantage point I've got, really. So fingers crossed this hour will close something like this. We'll get a new hour pullback. We'll get a buy stop on the other side. If it does flip, we're likely going to tap that. We'll go risk free, take part, all that good stuff. And if it does want to come back down and fake out, you might look something like this, but at least that top wick area has been taken. That means the 3 would have a top wick at that point. Okay. So that's what we're after. So we'll know from probably the beginning of the next hour. Come on, calm down, gold. Come on, gold. Chill. Calm your tits. US elections. Yeah, well, the elections are going to have a big impact. I don't know whether this is pumped up like this because of what's going on in America at the minute. With what happened to Trump, there seems to be some sort of unity within the country. It's nice to see, to be fair. But the dollar's getting weak. That's why gold's going up. So gold's getting more stronger. So I don't know whether that would make sense with it. So yeah, I don't really. The thing with me, I'm not really technical in regards to the news and things like that. That's where you ask Vic. Vic is like a witch. She looks into all the news and things like that. So if you ever have questions about news and why prices getting affected in certain ways, drop a message in the chat. Ask Vic. She'll be happy to help you. Oh, look at it coming up now. Sometimes you got to sacrifice like a few days worth of trading just for price to settle down, calm down, or a week worth of trading for price to calm down. Because ideally I want to see this weekly. I mean, if you think about the weekly candle and what we said about, wouldn't it be dead easy if this candle closes doji? Next week it'd be fairly straightforward, wouldn't it? We just want a little top wick, and then we're looking for sells all week coming down. Yeah. So sometimes it's like, do you just sacrifice the week and just wait for this weekly candle? Obviously we're not going to do that. We're going to try and catch some trades as such. What's nice is we are pushing back up. If we do create a steeper top wick and then we do flip back down bearish, it means you're more likely going to create a steeper bottom wick, and now you've got an advantage point because you're going to create a steeper bottom wick, so your target's the wick. That's what I'm saying. We can take sells below here if I can get that pull back to the no top wick area. So if we get the no top wick gone, yes, we were looking to buy up here, but it looks like it's going to be took. But it means that we can look for sells below 2469. However, I don't know if they're going to come until New York, because if you're printing bullish on the 1 hour, you're going to tap this level, but the range on the one is this. So technically you should be coming up to these levels, and if this hour doesn't do it and close there, the next hour is going to, there's 11 o'clock, then you'd need a bearish close, there's 12 o'clock, and then by the time you break out of this, there's 1 o'clock. See, I've even noticed when I say it's probably not for me this morning, I can't see anything happening, and then you'll find that my price just fucks about and I'm right at the majority of the time. It's not because I'm a wizard or I can tell the future, it's because prices show me what I would need to see. But for me to look at my setups, I would need to see this. And how long could it take for me to see this? Well, I know it could take a few hours. So then I'm like, nothing for me. Nothing for me. So, yeah. We've tapped that area now. I really wanted that. I was hoping that 1 hour wouldn't push and tap that area. How does it affect the market? I'm back, mate. My TP is just hit well in vain. Lovely trade that, mine coming back up. It wasn't for me, that though. Didn't have to cut me off. I'm going to wait for this first hour though. I want to see what this hour does, because if we do get a fake out now, so for example, you think we broke the lows technically, right? We broke the lows and then we've had a close back into the area. Could we get a fake out back to the downside? Slim chance, but if we do, then and I get a top wick, I could potentially take sellers below and we could get something like that. So I do want to see what this next hour is going to bring at the start. But I'm not interested in buys up now. So even if this hour pulls back to here, what could I be? No. What could I be? Could I be? No bottom weight, and there's 15 as well. You little bugger. You little bugger. Could I take buys up actually? I don't think I'd take a win back buy. It would have to be buys above. Let's see how this next hour goes. I'll probably know with the first 15 minutes whether we'll call it a stream or not. So I'll give it another 15. Breaking above. I'm feeling a pullback. Buy stop above on the 15. If that's your trade, mate, take it. If that's your trade. Breaking above 2472. 2472. Yeah, I mean, you've got a reason here to come back down. You've got no bottom wick here and you've got no bottom wick here. However, zoom out. Zoom out. What have we done here? And zoom out. This one, you got a fake out back into the area. What would everyone be doing here? You think if you've seen this, if you've just had this bullish pump and you've seen this, what would you be thinking? Well, you'd be going, oh yeah, we've broke this low. Loads of liquidity below here. Okay, this is us going to carry on now. That's what you'd be thinking. So loads of people be buying here, and then what happens? All the stops will be below here. And look what's happened. Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't mean to do the full thing. I wanted to thing. Comes back down, breaks the lows again. Grab loads of liquidity. So now you've got fuel to really drive up. Therefore, do you need a bottom wick on this? Probably not. Probably not. You probably don't all the way up. However, I do believe a higher time frame candle will eventually come down to pick up them no bottom wicks. But it just means it might not happen today. And if you're in trades, your stops might be above the high. You might get stopped before you do that. Okay. So, oh shit, I'll delete all this now. Um, 15 no bottom wick. This is the hour now, guys. So we've had an hour close, no top wick. What are you doing, gold? What are you doing to me? Okay. Nice big bullish close, no bottom wick. If this hour can come and tap 2479, we could potentially get a sell stop on. Slim chance it'll flip back to the downside. However, if it does, you're likely then going to push previous support at 2469. But that's as long as it doesn't have a bottom wick. I'm going to see what this first 15 does, guys. We're not out yet. We're not out yet. Don't go anywhere. We're not out anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I wouldn't have. Weak candles, yeah, you get it. These are all tests, John. This is testing you. You not being able to get trades, I'm telling you now, you'll break through it. You'll break through it, mate. But this is lovely now, guys, if we can get back below these levels. The volume's too high, copper pips. Yeah, the thing is, I have got a mic where... How's that? Is that any better? I've been turning it up because a lot of people have been saying it's too quiet. How's that one? You got a subwoofer right next to you. Yeah, like that. How's that, mate? Drop a message. It's when you knock something. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my hand is right next to the mic as well. So it might be with that. What are we gonna do, gold? What are we gonna do? You need to calm your tits. Calm your tits. It hasn't even flipped. It's sort of what? It's like it's messing about here. The fives. You've got it. You have got a minor support here on the 5. Could you reject from there to come back down? The thing is, though, when you come up to these levels, you can reject. There's one wick where it rejects from, but we've built up the 5, so you're likely going to be pushing to 2477 for a next rejection. There's another minor rejection area there, but I can't see that happening really. It looks like we're coming through to 248. Look at them. Look at them 5-minute candles, guys. That's disgusting. And look at the position entry we managed to catch. Potentially 17 pips. Potentially. And it was counter trend. Yeah. But did anyone actually get profit from this aggressive trade? I'm gonna name, what name can I call this play, guys? When we go aggressive and we move stops quickly, what can I call it? It's got to be related to like a bed. What can we play it? And what can we call it even? 5 closed, broke above. Eight minutes left for the 15. What would I want to see here? So you couldn't even have gotten on this hour because you've got no top wick and you didn't pull back first, so you wouldn't even have got any buys in on this. But what is nice though, if we come up and tap this level and we do so happen to come back down, you can then take sells below this, and your advantage point would be the low here, because that would be saying that the dailies now create a steeper top wick and it's coming down to create a steeper bottom wick. So it's going to push to at least the wick where it's at now, which is this point really. So that there, we would grab this to this, and that's our advantage point. And that's what it's all about, advantage points. That's when we take partial, we move to break in. We know that price, even if it's going to flip and pull away, we know price has to tap that area. And you've been on loads of streams from me where prices tapped it, take partial move to break even, and fucked off the other way. Yeah, it's happened loads. What was doing there? Take the scraps and go. Yeah, it was a vulture trade. Do extinction event. Do extinction event. What do you mean? Have we got news today? What day are we on? Wednesday. Medium impact. FOMC member Wallace speaks. Okay. We won't be on for that anyway. And then we've got unemployment claims on Thursday. And then FOMC speaks. No high impact news on Friday. It's weird. Alright, okay. I don't think anything's going on here, guys. I said I'd wait for this 15. I was hoping this 15 could just push straight up. And at that point, then, I was hoping we could start pushing straight back down. But now we're going to have to wait another 15. It might take 3-4 15s to get up. So if we look at previous data, it took 1, 2, 3 to get up to here. So 1, 2, 3, another 15 to get up. And then another 30 minutes to come back down. 45, 1 hour, an hour and 15. That's going to take us to 11:15. Nah, that's probably not for me, this, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a stream. if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat now. I'm going to call it a stream because it's just all over, and the profit we've had this week, we don't need to risk it, do we? It's all about protecting our capital. We're up 3.5k this week on a 200k account, right? We don't need to put this at risk, do we, if it's not perfect for us, okay? For some people, you could just end the month now if you wanted to, and just get your payout if you are on a funded account or whatever. Like, that's a decent income for, especially in the UK. Like, so you don't need, it's all about protecting your capital, okay? On stream, we're doing fantastic. We're over 90% win rate. We've only ever had one full loss. We've had 8 losses, 1 full loss. The rest have all been partial. For example, this month our losses were $1,200 and $200, 300 say. So small. We've only ever had 1 full loss. And we've only ever had 1 minus month. Even in April, that's when we took that full loss. We still managed to get back to break even. So we're absolutely smashing it. And what's good about us as well is every trade's on the stream. Nothing is on here unless I only put on here what we've took on stream, or if we've set limit orders. Okay, and they've not been. That's the only thing I put on here. Okay, I'm very hard on myself in regards to that. Everyone watching, you all know the crack anyway. You've all been watching me. So yeah, we're absolutely smashing it. And today, there's just no point. You might as well wait. We need to see what the daily is going to do, guys. We need the daily to create some structure. Very, very difficult without any structure on the daily. Okay, so hopefully the daily can close bearish tonight, and that'll make it easier tomorrow. It means we're more likely to push back down. But ideally, we want the weekly closing back below 2426. That's what I'd really like. Alright. Okay guys, if you haven't done so, drop us a like. Much appreciated for jumping on. And I'll see you all. I'll be on tomorrow again. Same time. Hopefully we can catch something tomorrow. Other than that, guys, if I do find something, I'll drop it in the trade IDs. Alright. Okay. Catch you later, guys. See you later.